So what are we pretending we're fine about today?
Nothing. Not on this couch.
Welcome to On the Couch with Queer Corner.
Sanbonani. Welcome to episode 3 on the Couch with Queer Corner. So today Ulungile will be leading us with the conversation. So
Let's go.
Lungile, let's go for it.
Okay, today
What's happening?
it's a little personal.
Yeah.
It's about, how being queer affects your family, your mental health, people around you, how you pick even your chosen family, if I may. Right? Because, there's a lot of elements that come with being queer. Deciding when to tell your family, especially if it's not obvious. How you give them the space to accept, process whatever is going on. So I just want to talk about that. When do you think is the right time to tell your family?
There's never a right time. There's never a right time. I actually did an interview recently, a corporate interview for Pride Month. And I was asked the same question, surprisingly. And my first answer was, as long as you feel safe and comfortable, there's never a right time. If you feel safe in that closet, stay in there for the longest time. Please don't feel forced. Don't feel like you do not love yourself if you're not out and proud. And don't also feel like the people around you don't love you if you're not out and proud, especially if they also don't accept you. Analyze the situation, critically think about the situation before making such a decision, especially if your family is supporting you or your family is still putting you through school. If you know they're homophobic, don't come out. Come out later on in life. There's no need for you to be rushing something like that. It's okay to think before you act. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean you love yourself less. So everyone's different. There's never a right time. Even if you don't feel comfortable, don't come out if you don't. If you know that it's going to be difficult for you at the moment, don't do it. It's okay not to do it. And that's my advice always. So I wouldn't necessarily say come out, win this, win that, because you can be financially stable but not have the emotional capacity to lose your family in that sense, So whenever you feel like is the time for you, then you should do it.
Do you think it's possible for someone to just never come out to their family?
They don't have to.
Like ever?
Yes. Everyone's different. Everyone's different. I think it's different. Someone could be living in a country where they murder gay people.
True.
And that's the advice I'd give them. If you feel like you can keep it a secret for that long until you're able to move away, then do it. Please, by all means, don't try to be an activist, a superhero. Because there's no need for that, trust me. There's no need for that. And I think people get on social media and they try to push this narrative of, if your family doesn't love you, or if you're not an activist, or you're not arts and proud, then there's something wrong with you, or you do not love yourself. And that's not the case. I think in reality, think before you act.
True.
Yeah.
And what do you feel about the difference between being accepted and tolerated for being gay? Let's say you do come out and, obviously you're not in charge of, or you can't predict how your family will receive you, even if you've read the situation and all of that. How do you differentiate between?
Wait, I wanted to hear how this is a conversation. I wanted to hear, when do you think is the time to come out for someone?
I agree with you. Yeah. It's important to see the type of people your family are.
Of course.
I feel like for me it's relatively out there, I feel like also the different conversations that you hear. I think we talked about this on a call a few days ago, to say that if you are not visibly gay, it's harder for you to know the true thoughts of people or the true feelings of people.
And I actually think you actually don't come out more when you are not visibly gay.
I feel when you're for example yourself, you're feminine presenting, and it's harder to tell relatively. So I feel like for you it's easier to just decide not to. But I feel like for me, look at me.
They see you from walking in.
Exactly. So I feel like for me, it feels like I don't even have to do it, because I never have. If I'm being honest with you, I've never come out to say, by the way, I'm gay. No, I just behave the way I'm behaving, dress the way I dress. If you want to assume, it's fine, but it's none of my business, you know? I feel like it's also none of anybody's business, really. You know, it's either you love me, you take me as I am or not. And that's it. So I agree with you. Even if you don't want to come out, that's up to you entirely, you know? So yeah, read the room, especially if you're depending on your family, especially because Lapo, your whole life will change based on that one thing.
Yeah.
So
even in your career, because I did touch on this when I did get interviewed, that for a long time I thought that I didn't necessarily accept myself to the fullest extent because I was thinking more about my career than I was about my sexuality, which I did feel wrong about it for a little while until I actually had this realization of like, okay, no, AYANDA. And then I thought about it like, why are you making that decision? And it wasn't necessarily, it's one, some people generally do not make you feel safe. And two, I would hear certain conversations that you as a masculine presenting person would not hear behind the scenes. And people are weird. People are very cruel in things that they say. And so you'd find that because you are masculine presenting and you walk into a room, there's certain things that they wouldn't say to you from the get-go. And then for me, because they don't know that I'm in the community, I'd hear certain conversations about what people would say, and people saying, no, don't get close to that masculine lady because she'll give you demons, or, you know, people just say the most hurtful. And obviously, as I said, I would always correct it, you know, because that's obviously hurtful to me because I am as well, you know. And especially in corporate spaces, people think people who are gay are very... They think there's something wrong with your mind. So already they feel like you're incompetent of doing the job. And so I've always had that thing in my head of like, I just want to focus on my career. I don't want to then someone know my sexuality and I'm having to work 10 times as hard to prove Guti I can actually do the job I'm qualified for. And so there's times where I do make that decision, especially if I don't feel safe, to be like, Yazin, I'm not going to say anything here because I know I'm going to be judged and I know I'm going to have to work 10, because it's always going to come up. I know because it has, where someone, you know, would be like, yeah, when I, you know, and it's like, what does that have to do with my job? You know, so I do try to avoid that, especially if I don't feel safe. So yeah, that's why I say, Guti, come out when you feel safe and comfortable. If you don't do it. It will be 10 times as hard. And you taking that on doesn't mean anything. You don't have to take anything on. If you don't feel safe, don't do it.
How do you know that it's safe though? Like,
it depends on the people, because in my previous job I was out. Everyone knew. My girlfriend would send me, the girlfriend that I had at the time would send me things. Everyone would be happy. She'd be on a video call. Everyone would want to say hi. But you feel it. But in the job that I'm working at now, absolutely not. Oh no, I would never. Like you can already tell. Like if it does come out, I'm just gonna have a tough time. Like they're just gonna say things either behind my back, obviously, but there's going to be this insinuation of, especially because I've heard things about other people as well, you know, of like, and I don't even want to repeat half of the things people say, but it's really cruel.
No, I get you. I get you. For me, it's also like relatively easy enough because the lady who I work with the most on camps, she's the owner of the company. She's gay. She's married to a woman. So it's very easy to work there and be myself unapologetically. She's even said it, like, don't hide who you are. Just be yourself. I've seen the quality of your work and, you know, it doesn't matter.
Because you're safe.
Exactly. So I agree. So now the difference between like when you feel like you're tolerated, accepted, and even like when people like really genuinely celebrate who you are, how do you differentiate that in your family, with your friendships, you know, with people around you? How do you know that, Lan, I'm only being tolerated because here, like, they genuinely respect and accept me, and here they actually like are glad, like they love that I'm gay, and you know, it adds flavor to who I am.
It's how someone acts towards you. I think in the company that I work for, well, now I did an interview for my corporate job, so now it's out that I'm gay. You know, even if I did feel uncomfortable them knowing, I think you get to that point where you don't care anymore. Not necessarily I don't care anymore, I just don't care that those specific people find out, because there's so much that has happened that but if you had to tell me to come out to them in the beginning, I would have said absolutely no. I don't want to feel unsafe. But my emotions have gotten I've just grown attached to them. I've just grown detached to the situation that I don't care anymore. But how I tell if I'm being tolerated or accepted is how the questions that they ask when they don't know much about my sexuality, or the questions or how they accept me. Because I do have a friend at work where I did tell him that I am lesbian, and the first thing he asked was like, oh, like he was just very like not excited, but like he was just, oh, what, like, how do you want me to pronounce you? I'm just like, I'm still the same, relax.
Exactly.
Like, I still have the same pronouns. I'm she and her. Like, he's very much like wants to not say the wrong thing, And he kept saying, he said queer, but he said it. So he's like, oh, how do I say it? Like, he was just very excited about it.
Yeah.
And so that's when you see like, oh, okay, this is a safe space. And he like doesn't view people like that, and he understands that people don't choose to be this way. Because we also have conversations like that. People would never choose to be gay. It's so weird that people think that. But yeah, when someone is excited or is intrigued to learn more, then you feel like, okay, like I'm being accepted here. And by tolerated, I think you see it. People get a little weird. People don't speak to you anymore, which is sad. I had a friend once. That's why sometimes when I get close to someone, I have to say that. I think that's the difference between me and you, Wuti. With you, you can come into the room and someone has already decided with me. It's like, we will be friends, and then that's when I have to say, which is a little hard, because I did have a friend back in the day where she didn't know that I was gay, and then as I saw we were getting close and our friendship was getting a bit close, I did open up. I'm like, hey, and she was like, absolutely not. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, 2024, but like, you never know, some people are really just that religious, or they don't accept gay people to that extent, and you never really know. And that was really hurtful. So as I say again, if you feel safe and comfortable, but I always want to give people that opportunity to decide for themselves, just so I don't also hurt myself. So yeah, the friendship was a bit deep, but not that deep where it crumbled me. But it was sad. I was like, oh, you know me. Why would
exactly just by that one thing and you deciding?
Yeah, but yeah. So it's how people change, where you see you being tolerated. Some people end up not even looking at you in your eyes. It's so strange. Like, some people will. That's why I said it's such a different experience between me and you. It's so different.
Every time I hear more about it, I'm so shocked.
It's very traumatizing. That's why I'm saying you have to feel safe to that extent. Like, you have to understand. Even if I come out, they're still going to treat me the same. Because when you're being treated different, it's a little hurtful.
It is.
People start to not give you eye contact to that extent, or they start keeping quiet just a bit more when you speak. And you just also you have to be such a strong person also mentally, because when people do that around you, you also start to question yourself, You start to be like, you start, I don't know, I can't explain that feeling, but it's that feeling of like, even when you're speaking in meetings and people are looking at you like, you're just like, am I saying that? Was it something I said, or was it just me, because I am the way that I am? So you do have to be mentally strong for that. So, but yeah, I hope I answered your question. Those are the differences, the small things that you...
No, I feel like, and I might get a little backlash for this, but I feel like the way that we shoot ourselves in the leg is all the accommodations that we attach to being queer, right? The whole pronouns thing. Like, there's so many things. And, like you said, there's some people who are genuinely excited and they don't want to get it wrong, and they want to respect your boundaries and, they don't want to misgender you and all of that. But most of the time, I think we even experienced this together, where the first question was like, how do you have sex? How do you? It's like,
it always gets sexual very fast.
I think that's where it's wrong. Like, it's just like you're trying to get questions. You're trying to find out what's going on for the wrong reasons, and you just disqualified. Like, we shouldn't even be talking. Like, it's fine. This is how I am. You do you. But I also feel like the reason why sometimes people attach so many different stigmas and negativity towards being queer is all the accommodations that we attach to being queer. Like you need to specify certain things about being queer so that people can accommodate you, and you take offense when those things are not done, because it's unfortunately not common knowledge. A lot of things about being queer, they're not taught. They're not public common sense. Like, it's not available for it. It's only when you actually have the desire to want to look it up that you'll actually know the truth about it. At the same time, it's not something you're gonna pass in this, because I also get comments like, is this a boy or is this a girl? You know, and things like that. But like you said, you need to be mentally strong. At the same time, queer people, we shoot ourselves in the leg because we get offended by those things that require someone to actually do a deep dive into being queer. And I feel like that's where things go wrong, because you want people to accept you and accommodate you, but they don't know. And if you're not even in a position to want to educate them, you're just going to take offense. It's not fair. It's not fair. We need to also extend grace, because this is not something that people like are taught and they are used to. You know what I mean? It can be taken the wrong way. Like I said, Ugut, I might get backlash because people will say I'm saying it's unnatural and all of that. Like, you don't choose it. But there's so much attached to it that people are not aware of, unfortunately. And I think that's the flaw with like education systems, social media and stuff, because it's only when you look for specific sites, specific things that you find out about queer. It's not available at the tip of your fingers. It's okay, I can just look this and then it's right there. So I agree with you, Guti. The small details of things change. The questions, I feel like the questions are where you really know if you're safe. When people start asking questions, if it's mostly sexual. Because, for example, there's guys who genuinely want to be with gay women because they have certain fantasies that they want to fulfill with those. Like, if you have a girlfriend and there's a guy who's trying to get involved with you, he'll say he doesn't mind that you have a girlfriend. And there's so there's so many things that are around that subject that make you feel unsafe, and so you just need to pay attention.
Especially actually, you are right. Especially when it does get sexual, it's a very uncomfortable.
I feel like that's when you must cut the conversation and not even engage further, because the more you allow it, it's the more you seem like you're also willing. And then, because you might have good intentions to say you're educating this person, but they're still leaning towards the specific thing, so it's not safe. It's not safe. I think you remember that guy. He was just asking everything was sexual.
Even when we were outside, he kept continuing.
Exactly. So like, you don't even read the
virgin,
room.
Are you that? And you're just like, come on, can we let it go?
Let's
just stop.
So I get that. There's just a lot. I was talking to a lady and she even said, being gay is so complicated now, because there's so much. There's now all these different pronouns and all these different things, and you know, people are typical. If someone sees you, they'll say she. They won't assume that you have other pronouns. Like, for example, me, it's a misgendering thing. It's not a pronouns thing. So I wouldn't get offended by that. But if it's like a trans person, and then you can see, for example, if it's a trans man, but you can still see the boobs maybe, and then you say she, and then they take offense in that.
They do a whole
thing. But people don't know. You know what I mean? People don't know. And you need to extend that grace to say, no, let me say, obviously, if you're met with hostility, just walk away. You don't need to engage further, but at least extend a little bit of grace. You know, don't just take offense and then you're treating the world like it's a terrible place. So I think that's how we, like I said, shoot ourselves in the leg. We expect too much from people, and they're uninformed. They're just uninformed. They're not being malicious. They're not trying to hurt you. Sometimes they're not even being homophobic. They're just uninformed. And that's okay. Just educate them at the time, you know. But so when it comes to family, friends, even community, for example, if you don't mind me saying this about how your family knew about your sexuality, it was not even up to you, it was someone else. How do you navigate that? Like, for example, if you don't come out to your family and someone else knows, and then they expose it, or they treat you that way in front of the people that you're not trying to expose yourself to, how do you set those boundaries for them? Because I feel like you didn't really get the chance to do that. And so how did you go forth from that point to navigate your sexuality now with your family, with the community?
I think for me, I think after my parents found out, like, I obviously for a few days I was like, that was a bit awkward. But I think after that, I'm not saying, by all means, I'm not saying outing someone is right, but I think it helped me. I don't want to say that, but like, I don't know how to put it. Uguti, it just made me be a little more open, regardless of how they felt. Also, I think my parents accept me. They just, I don't know what's going on. They just act like they don't, but I'm just like, chill. Like, I know you guys are just like, calm down. I think for them, it's just mainly other people that they have an issue with. They still have that thing of like what others are going to say, because when I had a conversation with my mother, she was very much like, oh no, I do understand there's people like that. It was very much that conversation. But yeah, and we even had a family meeting about it. It was such a thing. We had a family meeting about it. And even my sisters, when we were sitting there, they were just like, guys, come on, let's drop it. Like, what the hell? What is this for, And even in that, I was just like, no, like, it's okay. Let's speak about it if you guys want to speak about it. But, yeah, I haven't navigated it. There isn't a big change at all. They still treat me the same. I wasn't abandoned. I wasn't shouted at. Nothing happened. They were just shocked. And then the shock went away after a few days, and we had a meeting, and and I was like, okay. But like, there was no navigation. I think even if I do get married or engaged, like, they'll be the first people I tell. Will they come to the wedding? I'm not sure. I think so. I think they would, actually. They would. Yeah, they would. Do they like that I am? I don't know where they are in that headspace, because that situation happened back in 2022. So it's been a while. Do they watch my shows? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe undercover. And guys, I don't hide it. So it's like, if they see me, they see me. It hasn't came up ever since that day. So angazi how they feel about it. But it would be interesting if, would I ever ask them? I don't think so. I think it would be like, it will ever come up again if I get married and I'm like, here's the invitation, come through.
So when it comes to lobola and things like that, you don't want to do that?
No, I'm not doing that.
So they'll find out through engagement
Invite.
Wedding
but even that, I don't know. My parents are just so chilled. Like, even growing up, like, my parents were always those parents, like, my friends were always over. They like that thing of like, I would never go to my friend's home, but our home was that home of like, you can invite everyone as long as they at our house. And so, especially because I just have sisters, so there was never any males in the house or anything. So a lot of parents would also feel comfortable in our home, And so I grew up very inviting people over to my home, And so even in relationships with the people that I've had, they've came to my home. Only one, but like my friends and stuff like that, they've been to my home and things like that. And so I feel like if I did meet someone that was genuinely close to me, I'd invite them over. I don't know, like, my home is that thing, that comfort thing. I'd even ask them to come for a holiday or something, because my family is like that. Every holiday we will spend together, and then if you have plans with your friends, then you can disperse and do your own thing. But family, it's set, and I would invite my partner to what my parents would think, Angaz. But I'm comfortable enough that I know in my head I can do that. So I don't know what that means.
It's just like a boundary thing, that certain like things you won't do them in front of your parents.
Yeah,
but
obviously,
your partner will be
there's
there.
a respect there. There's a lot of things I don't do in front of my parents. There's a lot of things I wouldn't do in front of my parents, but inviting my partner to where I live, I would do that. Even if my parents are there, I think I'd introduce her. And my parents would. I know my parents, if they had an issue with it, we'll probably speak about it afterwards, but they'll never bring it up in front of whoever I bring up. Even if my family doesn't, my parents do not like the friends that I have. Sometimes they say it after they have left, but they never treat that person differently. That's why I also get surprised afterwards. They'll sit me down and be like, we didn't really like that particular person, but my parents are very accepting. Too accepting sometimes. I'm the one who have to discipline them. Like, you guys are doing too much. Like, But my parents are very kind people. Like, they don't treat people differently, even if they don't agree with them or who they are. But yeah.
I respect that. I feel like for me, my community, I mean, like I said, it's obvious. It's obvious that I'm queer, and, but I feel like they try to rub it in that I'm a girl. I was like, like, I'm just like, I know I'm a girl. I don't want to be a man. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the thing with them.
Yeah.
I think because I'm a respectful child, like my whole community loves me and all of that. But it's like they're trying to remind me every day, because they'll see me in my sweatpants, haircuts, all that, passing. Yeah, and then I'm just like, I know I'm a girl. Like, I know. I promise you, I know. I don't want to be anything other than a girl, but I'm just a mass presenting girl, So I think that's the only thing that I experience with community and family. But I'll there's another question that I have relating to that, but I just want to ask you, Guti, do you think homophobia is only based on religion? Do you think there's any other valid thing
reason
that people can bring up outside of culture and religion, like on homophobia? Or do you think those are the only foundations upon which homophobia stands?
No, it's not. And I say that only because I feel like people, even atheists as well, believe that it should be a man and woman, mostly because they believe that in nature it's man and woman, but not understanding also that there are animals as well that do pair up with the same gender. They just don't go further into that study. But I think there's a lot of people who think it's unnatural, even if they aren't Christians. And I think they only base that off of sperm and an egg and that whole formation,
biology,
and so they think that is the only way, or because it's not natural, that it's not the way. So it has nothing to do with religion. There's certain people outside of religion who think it's just not a natural thing to do, only because you can't reproduce.
So it's only based on reproduction
Mainly.
That's like the root of homophobia. So if we have to remove reproduction, you think people who are homophobic,
obviously, if people could make babies however way they could, I don't think that would be an issue. I think it's solely that
reproduction,
sperm and egg. If it's not happening, then it doesn't make sense.
So do you believe that in every capacity homophobia gets its roots from reproduction?
True, that is not natural, but it goes so much deeper than that. I think people don't do, as you said, they don't do their research, because I heard this other lady going deep into, because someone was questioning the whole it's not natural thing, and she explained like there's animals in the wild as well who get raped by the male what do they call it?
Species.
When they say the opposite. Okay, no, it's fine. Let's just skip that because I don't know much information about it. It was just something that I heard and I just went on a little deep dive, but I don't know much about it because she was kind of questioning, is rape natural? Is rape natural essentially because some animals in the also
raped.
Some males do rape their females in order to reproduce. So is that an okay thing to do? So she kind of went into that whole conversation.
Yeah. I saw something about that as well, Wuti. Especially lions, when they're trying to build their lineage, they rape other lionesses and so on. They even kill those lionesses' cubs so that they will impregnate the lionesses to have their own. So it's like that thing that they want to reproduce. But I do agree with you to say that mostly, I think the deepest root of homophobia, I don't even like the term homophobia. I don't think it's a phobia. It's just a dislike. They must find another word for it, honestly. But it's rooted in that, just reproduction. But what about people who don't want children then? You know what I mean? But I agree with you fully. But those three, I think, the religious notation about homophobia is based on reproduction because it's about reproducing. Like they'll say in Genesis, God told Adam and Eve to multiply.
Yeah,
And then that's reproduction. You know, so it is actually, that's a great perspective. I never really thought about it like that. And culture. But with culture, I feel like there's so many things that were edited in our history that we're not even aware. I was even seeing a lot of clips to say we might have misunderstood Adolf Hitler even. Like, yes, he did a lot of, you know, killing and all of that, but most of his speeches, even his last speech, they played the audio of his last speech to say that he was actually speaking for the poor, to say there's no way that so many countries are poor while there's rich countries like who are dictating to everybody else. So they were trying to make him seem like a villain because he was fighting the man, like the capitalist. So there's so many things in our history that were edited. Even the Bible itself, it was edited by King James English. I know King James was apparently gay.
Really?
Allegedly. I don't know.
Allegedly. Yeah.
So there's so many things that were edited because, I mean, we there's a lot of things that we don't have access to.
Yeah.
If you watch the Winnie Mandela documentary, you'll see certain things that would never... I can't even watch
that. Yes, I feel like it would get me so upset. I don't have the emotional capacity.
But in all honesty, there's so much that's hidden away from us to suit the agenda that they want to push at the time. For even the small thing, Hunter virus, where did it go? It just disappeared because we bullied them because we were aware of certain things. So there's a lot of things culturally and even religiously.
That's such a conspiracy theory. I feel like I want to dive into that.
What, the Hunter virus?
No, Angiti, the conspiracy theory, sorry, I'm just going to divert quickly, just quick. No, but we all knew coronavirus was going to come back. It was a matter of when it was. Because remember when Cyril even made a whole speech with those graveyards and there was, they had already dug, you didn't see that? Where they already dug like a whole graveyard scene there because they were expecting a lot of people to die from that corona. And when it didn't get to that mass killing, it was a conspiracy theory that it was really going to come back. They were just going to try and make whatever it's going to come back stronger than. So I think that was the Hunter virus. But apparently, no, there's something else that's going to be produced. But it's coming.
Were trying to do Ebola also and all of that.
No, it's coming.
But these things are population control measures.
It's coming.
But it's fine.
Yeah.
Let's move on. How do you feel like being queer affects your mental health, especially when you're dealing with like rejection?
I feel like it doesn't anymore. I know that's contradicting because I say like, oh, you should feel safe at work. But I feel like that's completely different. It just fucks up a lot of things that don't need to be. So I rather divert. In terms of outside people, I don't really care. I've been through so much that it doesn't really do affect me. I think when you go through life not accepting yourself and thinking you are unworthy of love or feeling like something is wrong with you for such a long time and then getting to the stage of actually accepting yourself is such a breakthrough that it becomes a thing of if no one else does, it doesn't matter at that point. It affects my mental health, I think mostly when it comes to my work. But anything outside of that, no, because my family accepts me. Well, I think, my parents, I don't know, I think. But my sisters, my friends, everyone around me accepts me. The people I have close accept me, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
At work, it's a bit tricky. It's a tricky one, that one. But I think, it does affect me a little bit. Not in the sense that I care, but I think about it too much and how it would just... I don't know how to explain this. It's not that I don't know how to explain it. It's not like I'm...
being in a toxic working environment, almost how it affects your productivity.
It will affect you.
Yeah.
No matter how strong you are, it will affect you how someone treats you and treats your work and try to collide your sexuality with your work. It will affect anyone, you know, and not because you don't love yourself or go, but you still have issues, but it's just there's anger almost also. It's like, why are we bringing the two together?
Yeah.
You know?
Do you feel like a lack of self-acceptance is internalized homophobia?
Yes, obviously. Yeah, it is.
So how does someone like overcome that? because I feel like that is the breakthrough that you need in order to just be unapologetically you and not care how others respond. But what does it take for you, maybe, like, to...
For me personally, because I had a different journey than most people.
For you.
For me, so for me, I grew up in church. I was a church girly. So Ekaya Nesonto, my grandmother founded a church. So like my father and his brothers and stuff, like they're the head of the church and stuff like that. So my father would also like go to other churches and preach, and so we would also get invited. He's not a pastor, but you know, he's able to preach and do sermons and stuff like that. And so I always grew up in church. And so growing up with that background and hearing all those things of gay people are this, you obviously as a child, you start to internalize that and actually believe it. And then eventually you also just think like, like what's happening, you know? You do question those things and you just like, I don't know, maybe something's wrong with me. What's going on? So I've definitely tried the whole praying the gay away. And I'm here to confirm it doesn't work. But yeah, I genuinely... But there's some people who say that it does. What's the difference there? I'm not sure. Maybe I wasn't holy enough. I don't see. But I've definitely tried the whole praying the gay thing away. And eventually, I don't know how I came to the point of accepting myself. I think my sister, actually, I've never told her this, but I think it was her, because we moved in together. We got an apartment together, and I was speaking to the first and last stud I'd ever spoken to. She came over. She surprised me out of nowhere. She was like, "What are you doing?" I don't even know how she got my address. I don't remember. Yeah. But then she rings me. She's like, "I'm outside." I'm like, huh? Love, my sister doesn't know I'm gay. It's like, yeah. Yeah, well, and she's obviously a masculine presenting, so
it's obvious.
She gets into this house, you know, and so she comes in the house, and she came in. She bought me flowers. She bought my sister food, me food. We had like a lovely night. So the three of us were hanging out together. My sister was just very much unbothered about the whole. I was like, oh, okay. I think that's when I saw. I think when you see that your family is accepting you, everything else just doesn't matter. Yeah, I think it comes with your family, because obviously you grow up in your family and you're closer to those people than anyone in the world. And so when they accept you fully, it's like, come on. Like, it doesn't matter if, anyone else doesn't accept me in my life. I think so, yeah. If I think back, I think it was my sisters, because after that... I was just open about it. But I should ask them when we bring our family members to our podcast. Yeah, I will actually ask them that question of like, how did you guys know or find out? And actually, because we never spoke about it. I've never actually came out to my sisters. It was just like, guys, I don't know how that even happened, because even with my other two sisters, it was more so like, oh, I think they asked me if I was dating or something, and then I was like, oh, she's fine, and like, oh, okay. Like, no one acted weird, no one was like, oh, shocked. I don't know if they knew, but I don't know. But yeah, I think them accepting me just
made things easier.
Yeah. Because even when my parents found out, they were very much like, told my parents, no, stop, we're not even talking about it. Like, leave her alone, So, yeah.
Okay, no, I agree. I feel like homophobia internalizes the worst kind of homophobia, because then you beat yourself up for it. The whole praying the gay away. No, I get it. I actually had a friend who had that whole era, and even myself. Like I remember every time I'd go to church, especially now as an adult, like there would be these homophobic comments, but. This one time it was mostly opinionated, like it was just your opinion. So I was made to feel so guilty, but at the same time, when eventually I sat down with it, and I believed it for a while, I won't even lie, I believed it. I was just like, oh, maybe there's something wrong with me, maybe you know,
it's always that.
But when I really sat down with myself and I processed it, I was just like, but this person is only speaking about what they think happens. You know, like for example, they were saying things like gay people are miserable, gay people are not happy in their relationship. Like, do you know how much we
the
love each
happiest.
other? Do you know how much
Yeah.
love we have? You know what I mean? So it's like, have you ever been gay? You know, so I was just like, this is not of substance, because it's just what you think is going on. You don't know our experiences. You don't know what we go through. And that's when I had to sit with myself. I'm just like, but it's not like I woke up one day and like, yeah, I'm gonna be gay. Like this is who I am. Like I don't know where to edit and whatever, you know. So it's a lot about accepting yourself. And
Yeah,
if you're gonna look at it from that perspective, because you grew up in church, like this is what you know.
Yeah.
You still want to have a relationship with God. You need to come to a point where you say that God loves me. Like God
yes,
loves
that
me.
was actually that was actually also, sorry to cut you off, that was actually also my big turnaround when I discovered that, oh, God is still with me regardless of that, you know, because a lot of people tell, oh, net demon, this that, and so you stop believing that, oh no, this God that you guys speak about should turn his back on me if that's the case at this point, if I'm also struggling with it, and at this point in my life I've accepted it, should he's going to turn his, and no, if anything, he's shown up more than.
I feel like churches teach people that God is conditional, and that is so wrong, because God doesn't care what you're like. Like God loves you exactly the way that you are. So I feel like all of these things that we learn about Unedimo, it's from a church. Church is the most judgmental place you could ever go in the world. Like I say, you know. But
and everyone has demons, by the way. At least one person at least has 120 demons.
I remember you said this before.
Yeah. Demon of lust, jealousy, they're all demons. So at least 120 to more.
Damn.
Yeah. So trust me, the gay one, I don't think it's a demon, but the gay one, I mean.
Do you feel like people who are homophobic are gay?
No, not all. There's some, obviously, because you haven't accepted yourself and something in you makes you uncomfortable for the people who have, but not all. No, I think there's genuinely some people that really hate and believe like, yeah, no, what you're doing is wrong. Generally so, but no, not all. I don't believe so. What do you think?
I feel like it depends on their actions. You know, I feel like some people want to push the narrative that they're not gay so much that they turn over to like
start looking a little suspicious.
A little thing. You know what I mean? Like there's this one person that we met and like they were insisting that they're straight. I'm like, it's the straights in the room with us where like, nah, you know? But at the same time, there's those guys, for example, who grew up with a lot of females around them and they seem gay.
Yeah.
But they're not. Like they're not. My little cousin, he grew up with a lot of, you would think he's gay, but he's not.
Yeah.
You know? So it depends on their actions and or considering the background that you'll see. Because people, for example, I feel like guys who just want to sleep with every and any woman that they meet, they're just sexualizing women like that. You might want to have a conversation with yourself, really, because if one woman is not enough for you, maybe you need a man, like, you know?
No,
like,
for real.
Like,
for real.
yeah, you know, so.
Yeah, but that is true. I think men who are more feminine, but they still accept gay people, go to gay clubs, I think like those are very strong men and they probably are very, very straight.
Yeah, men who are comfortable with their
comfortable
masculinity.
within the community are very straight.
I think you said it even before when we were together the last time, Guti. Men who are actually straight don't care if you're gay.
Yeah, they
like,
don't. They
it
really
doesn't bother
don't.
them.
Oh, that's how all my friends were. We used to go to gay clubs. They even would go to Pride and we'd go to Pride together.
Like they were
They're
okay
very
with it.
straight.
Yeah.
Like, and they had no issues. And then you see other men hang full of tent, and you're just like, it's really not that deep.
I saw a video of a guy who was like, if you saying that gay men make you uncomfortable, like, or they make you nervous, I get nervous around bad bitches. Like, you might want to consider.
Maybe. There's a lot more there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it shouldn't even make you
feel anything. Exactly.
Because then it would be weird if I had to say, oh, men make me uncomfortable. Okay, men do make me uncomfortable. Really, I think for everyone. I think even for straight men.
Everybody uncomfortable,
So yeah,
honestly.
I can't really say
guys.
that, but yeah.
Okay, I have like 2 more questions, right?
Okay.
How do you rebuild?
Oh, you're saying sorry, guys, to the men in the room.
To the men.
Some men.
Yeah. So how do you rebuild or restore relationships after homophobia? I think this also like relates to me. after like those hateful comments or the different, like the treatment that is different?
I don't.
Because you're gay. You don't repay.
No.
Like if it's someone that you're stuck with, like
Who?
let's say for example, if someone made a homophobic comment in your family towards you.
I'm a cutter offer, hey?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very cut
Ex-cousin.
offer. Yeah, no. I cut off people immediately, especially if you disrespect me. Like, no, don't go there. No, I don't. That would not restore.
Mm-hmm. So you don't apply grace and patience there.
Only to my parents, yes. But as I said, like also when you do come out the closet to your family, you do have to give them grace to kind of accept that, because sometimes also it is difficult for them. I don't think people like having that conversation, that it is and will be hard for your family as well. So yeah, extending that grace, you should. But after some time, I mean, I think at this point, if my parents had to make some homophobic, what? No. I'm in my heart, I'm sure they'd never. But if they had to, I'd distance myself. Like, you know. So why are you saying that? That's very hurtful. Probably address it and then step away. But then my parents, I'd probably they'll probably apologize. I think my parents and I's relationship is at that level where they also do apologize back to me. Because when you're younger, they're just like, hi, you Ngane. They don't even want to have the conversation. But yeah, I'm at that age now. If I'm like, listen, you did hurt me 1, 2, and 3. And I've seen my father even like humble himself and
that's
like, actually
so
apologize.
healing.
It is.
Oh my God.
It is. It really is. Because and like you accept it immediately. Like when your father's just like,
I'm about to
sorry.
cry.
And he actually explains why he did what he did.
That's so
and you're
sweet.
Just like, thank you. I needed that.
Oh my
Because you
days.
accept the apology immediately. Yeah, it is. It's very healing. Because there's some things that parents just do that it's just like, damn, that's just, you didn't need to go there. But yeah, I feel like, I'd cut you off. There would be no restoration. Unless you're my parents, which they're the only people I'd give grace to. Anyone else? Nope.
No. That is, wow, that's crazy. Because I think the main reason I don't speak to my family is because of that, like a lack of apology. Like I feel like saying him I understand the value on like how deep words are. So if you're gonna say something painful to me, you have to apologize. Like I feel like all my life growing up, the repair would be starting a new conversation as if nothing happened, or bribery. Like they'll give you money and stuff. But now I'm older now. I don't want your money. I don't want to carry on as if nothing happened. You said hurtful things to me. Apologize. Like an apology costs you nothing. It just costs you humility. So to hear that you have that, that's crazy. Like I've never experienced it.
It's definitely not perfect. Obviously when things happen, your parents still have that thing of you still a child. And even recently when my father did apologize, it was a thing of, we did all acknowledge what he did was wrong in the moment, but then he also just continued to act like it wasn't a thing. And I guess he saw how we all reacted to it, like kind of being a very distant, like, no, that was wrong, but like we had already had the conversation. So I think it was him just slowly just sitting with himself, I guess, having those moments of like, actually I need to call everyone and actually apologize for this specific thing. It's definitely not perfect. It doesn't happen immediately, but there is that thing now of like, okay,
exists. I think that's the only person I had that with in my family is my sister. Like if we were gonna do things maybe that hurt one another, and we'll eventually come back and I'll tell her, this is what you did, this is how I feel. And then we'll both apologize, like, I'll do better. Like,
that's important, especially with siblings.
Yeah.
That's
I feel
how
like
I grew
because
up
she's
as
like
well.
my closest family, that's like who I'm holding on to, like for real. So it's humility, like you said, like you have to sit with yourself and decide, am I going to let this relationship go? Am I just going to have animosity towards this person? And all of that. But
it's important, accountability.
Exactly.
I think that's how I learned it also from my parents. Like my parents always taught us, my sisters and I just have each other. So even when I do them wrong, like, we shout at each other, and then after a while, like I'll come back and like, hey, I apologize for 1, 2, and 3, And so accountability is important, but I think also you learn it from your parents.
True. And lastly, invisibility. Like, how do you feel visibility is important, like in families, on your social media, all of that. Like when do you feel like now you have to show? Like after how long, for example, is it okay to bring your partner into your family, to include them in family traditions, like pictures, or even your own milestones, like to include them in things like that? Because you'll find like people, it's your graduation and someone is proposing at your graduation. Like, when do you feel it's appropriate?
That's so
and
selfish.
Like, it is. Well, when do you feel like visibility, especially as a queer woman?
Yeah.
Like, when do you feel like visibility is important?
As soon as I have that ring in my finger, then you will be included.
Yeah.
But in terms of you knowing my sisters and going on, those intimate vacations and stuff like that, I think obviously within 3 years, I think, we can do that. But including you, like now you intertwine, obviously you'd have to be family.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
how?
I feel like people don't
why
get
would
that.
we do family things and you're not in my family?
True. I always say
Yeah.
like the only time I'm introducing my partner to my sister is if we're engaged. I don't want to keep introducing Chola, like you're just dating and no. I don't want that instability in my life, in my sister.
Really?
Now,
Only when you get married?
engaged.
I
at
mean,
least.
engaged.
Yeah, I feel like
That's, yeah.
I mean on the phone and all of that.
Even
but
if you
like,
guys have been dating for 3 years, you wouldn't.
No, man. I feel like a formal introduction has to take place when we're at a milestone. It's okay, we can get married now.
Really?
Because I want to have consistency. I don't want to introduce multiple people to my sister. She can know about you for sure. Like, see, oh, there's this person. Even on calls, like if you're on a video call and she's there. But to actually set it up to say, okay, I want you to meet my sister. I want us to go out and sit down. Yeah, I've never introduced anybody, like my partner, to my sister. She'll know that, okay, this person exists in my life, but
Really? Because I will bring you around my sisters to see like what's going on.
to test out
I trust my sisters so much. Like so much. Because they're not judgmental people. So if there's a thing that I'm like, okay. Because I will. Because other than my sisters, my mother I think is number one. When she says she doesn't like you, I'll cut you off immediately. And because of past experiences and because my mother is very intuitive, like she will smell it from even no one knowing. And so with my sisters as well, and because they have different personalities, like I get a bit of this and that and that, and I'm like, oh, how do you guys find her? And they'll say, and I'm like, okay.
I don't know. I feel like
I have to see that, but like only after we've dated for a while.
Yeah,
my sisters have only met one partner, and we dated for almost 4 years. Yeah.
No, I feel like also with me, we're so different, right? So she never introduced her partners to me, and I've never. I feel like it's an unspoken boundary that we've created for one another because we know what loss is like the most intimate loss. So I feel like it's also like a protective measure.
Yeah.
Because I've been in a situation where I met someone's family and I grew attached to the family, and when we broke up, it was really painful because now it's not just me letting go of you. Now I must let go of your family too. So it's just painful, So I feel like that's what it is for me and my sister. But also I'm open to it the more we nurture our relationship, because I feel like the older I'm getting, we're coming together even more. Like we're getting along better. Because when I was younger, it was a boundary thing. Mostly because especially after our mom died, it was like she had to step up as a bigger sister, like an older sister for me and her. So she had to assume certain responsibilities for me and herself. So it was that boundary also. So I think that's what it is. It's not a thing you would say, no. I am open to it, but after a certain point.
A certain point. Makes sense. Okay.
But yeah, that's it for me. I don't have any more questions.
Is that it?
Yeah.
You don't have any more?
No. Good.
But your questions were based on what? Family?
They were based
family
on
vibes.
navigating being queer in your community.
Family. In your community.
Yeah, in your community, your family, your friends, all of that. Representation and visibility.
Just for the last few minutes, did the guys on set have a question, one or two? No?
Questions, comments?
Just one. One question for the both of us. Anything that you guys would want to know? We'll let you know if it's inappropriate to answer.
No, I have input actually.
Yeah,
Yes.
what's your input?
Going back to a certain point about
I don't know if they can hear you. You don't have a mic, ne?
No, we'll repeat it, yeah. We'll repeat
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
So my thing was about the the portion where you said about like if someone might be homophobic, like if someone's homophobic, they're probably secretly gay, A, B, C, and D.
Mhm.
So my input was like a funny little thing that I thought of. Like,
Yeah.
let's say if it was a dude, right, and he's like homophobic, A, B, C, and D.
Yes.
I'm like, how do you know you're straight? And then like, because let's say you they open like something, you just watch something.
Yeah.
The issue arises if they're like turned on to the thing, and I'm
Mm.
like, oh, okay, so you're trying to avoid something here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for me, I've seen like Lil Nas X videos,
Yeah.
and I've been around like dudes who are like, oh no, this is nah, don't put this video on. This is whack. This is
And you're
whack."
just like, what are you trying to hide?
Exactly.
like-
yeah. No. It's also when men feel exposed to certain things, they feel like it will reveal
Something.
their truth. So that's why I'm saying, if you're not gay, you won't be bothered by any of these things. But if you begin to be bothered, you might want to consider why you're bothered. But I understand he's basically saying that if you're exposed to certain things, it'll arise certain things inside of you, and that's what most guys are scared of.
True.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you guys on the fourth
episode 4.
episode. Thank you guys for joining us. But next time we should take some anonymous questions just to make it a bit interesting. I think also
We'll post it on
just
TikTok.
having someone call in and actually hearing the advice and giving it live would be interesting.
All right.
So yeah, see you guys on episode
On the
4.
next one.